G'day, how the bloody hell are you? It is Cracker Fruity back playing a little bit more Battlefield 3 on the PlayStation 3. And what I want to talk about today is my Close Quarters fallback class. Now, if you missed my previous video, I was discussing how everybody, I think, or at least a lot of people, have a particular class set up, gun, everything, that they fall back on when things aren't going their way. Perhaps you're trying out a new gun, or simply your team's getting their ass kicked, and at some point you realise you have to put your try-hard pants on and engage full wedgie mode. So what class are you going to run back to? Well, in my previous video, what I was talking about was personally I go straight back to the Assault class because you've got the medic pack, you've got the paddles to help revive your team around you, which obviously at times can help you as well. And not to mention the fact that it's a great team thing to do. And the gun I chose was the AUG A3. Now that's because I think as an all-round general purpose weapon, it's great. It's adequate in close quarters. It's excellent at mid-range, and it's really good at long range as well as far as assault rifles go. However, what I did mention in my previous video was how I had a different setup for close quarters. Now, not a lot of people are going to be saying, well, you want a shotgun, either the Spaz 12 perhaps, or the Dow 12, or whatever the case may be. But I'm actually not a particularly big fan of shotguns. I think it takes a lot of the skill out, so unless I'm getting pissed off with the other team constantly shooting me with shotguns, then I generally don't use them. I only ever use them as a retaliatory type of thing. Now, what you would have noticed from watching this video already is that I am, of course, using the Assault class again for the very same reasons I was in the previous video. The med pack, the paddles to revive, so on and so forth. But the gun I'm using is, of course, the M5K. Now, as far as I'm concerned, not including shotguns, this is the best close quarters gun you can get. Now, the MP7's getting very close, but the very game prior to this, I just wanted to confirm before I sort of made a video about it. And it just seems that you need to put so many more rounds in with an MP7. And that's the very reason, even though the M5K did get a nerf, because it was so damn powerful, it's still great. It's still one of the best guns there is. Now, I'll start the video off by using a suppressor. But there comes a certain point in the game where I just had to change that over to the extended mags, because 21 rounds in a mag is fairly painful, and if, you get two people run through the door at once, you're going to start to struggle to kill both of them, unless they sort of stand in line for you, which is very nice of them to do. Now, along with the Cobra sight and the extended mag, I have also attached the laser sight, and the reason is, as a lot of you will already be aware, it does increase your hipfire accuracy, and it means that in close quarters, you don't even really need to bring this thing up to sights. You don't need to look down sights. You can basically spray from the hip and take people out just as efficiently as you would normally. So it's a really handy thing to have. Plus, in close quarters, you don't have to be as concerned about giving your position away like you would be if you're playing over a much bigger map, where it may not be advisable to attach a laser sight. But in these circumstances, it seemed to work out perfectly well for me, and it's just my preferred go-to attachment there. Now, this also reminds me of a little tip I'm going to give you. Yes, it is today's fruity little tip. Some of you may do it already, but maybe not. It's something I learned a couple of years ago, actually. I was watching a YouTuber. I can't remember who in fact it was. It might have even been Woody's Gamertag. I'm not 100% sure. But it's something that applied at the time and has remained applicable to pretty much every first-person shooter that I've ever played. But ultimately, a lot of people will aim down sights before they fire the trigger. Now, what that does is mean that there is a slight, maybe only a very, very slight delay, but there's that extra bit of delay between firing. And it might mean a couple of bullets that get you the kill or ultimately get them the kill. So, what I do, and it seems to work for me very well, is if your gun is on target, if your crosshairs in the middle of the screen are on the person you've seen, fire the trigger first and then aim down sights. It is just as you can basically grab both buttons at the same time, and it's going to start firing before it aims down sights. Now, it's a little bit harder to adjust because obviously it means that your gun would have started with a little bit of recoil before you're aiming down sights. But what it can do is just give you that couple of extra seconds advantage over your enemy, which might mean the difference between you getting the kill and him getting the kill. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I am interested to hear what your fallback class is. What's your go-to class? The one that you always go to when you really need to kick some ass. Leave it in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear what everyone else uses. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Remember to give it a like if you've enjoyed it. It helps me out a bunch. And also hit subscribe, share it with your friends, all that fantastic stuff. And I do mean friends, not fans, even though, you know, it didn't come out of my mouth right. Anyway, whatever. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.